What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Swirly Plays. We are here to kick off 2025 with a special video. I feel like I've talked about doing this in past years, and this is the year we're finally going to do it because I want to make more content on YouTube this year. We just finished up looking back to 2024. Now we're going to look ahead to 2025 and beyond for some of these games and see what games I am the most anticipated for. Anticipated for? Excited for. I'm looking at my list that says most anticipated games. Your boy's dumb. I don't know what to say. So yeah, this is a quick list of 15 games I came up with real quickly. I'm sure there's other games I haven't even thought about. Let me know down in the comments, what are you most excited for in 2025? What did I leave off my list? Let me know, what are you excited for in general in gaming in 2025? When we get to this, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's technically 14 games and another announcement that we are all very much so, feels like overdue for. You probably know what I'm talking about. We'll get to it when we get to that number on the list. So yeah, these aren't necessarily exactly ranked in like my most excited, but the top 5, oh man, I'm very excited for a lot of these games, but like the top 2 for sure, maybe even top 3, I would rank in that order as my most anticipated on this list. So let's dive right into it. Now, this isn't really excitement, but it is something I do look forward to every year, to at least follow it, to see what's going on, because it's been something I followed for a really long time. I'm going to quickly mention MLB 25. Now, I know MLB 24 and 23 were massive disappointments for me. I mentioned in my Game of the Year videos that they are apparently going away from sets and seasons, which is this god-awful way of doing Diamond Dynasty, the card game mode that I love so much. It really, truly ruined the mode for me, and if they're going away from that, I will watch some streams. I'm not committing to buying it. I'm probably going to buy it because I'm stupid. I just want to see what they have. And that's the most excited I get for that game, is they do a really good job of selling you how cool it could be. And then whether or not it actually lives up to that is another thing entirely. So I'm still going to give a quick little shout out to MLB 25. Please fix the game I love so much. That's all I want. Next up, we have Doom: The Dark Ages, which I kind of forgot about. I am not an Xbox guy by virtue of just my interest in the games. And honestly, kind of like I don't think morality's it's not that serious. I just hate Microsoft. But this game should come to all platforms, I would imagine. Doom Dark Ages is like medieval Doom. It looks really cool. You have like a chainsaw shield. It looks so badass, and Doom is just so cool. I am definitely interested in what this game has to offer this year. Next up, we saw a trailer for this at the Game Awards, but Turok Origins. I have never played a Turok game before, even back on the old, I think it was N64, and there's one on the GameCube I remember when my cousins had. This game just looks really cool. It's like a 10-second clip of gameplay that you're probably looking at right now. Has piqued my interest, and if it's got like a co-op about it, similar to like maybe like a Helldivers, where it's just like a fun co-op third-person shooter, like I'm on board for another one of those. So very excited to see and hear more about Turok. Next, we have a game called Judas, which is from Ken Levine, the creator and the original mind behind BioShock. It kind of looks extremely like BioShock in a lot of ways, but I'm okay with that. BioShock's one of the most incredible games I've ever played. It's got one of the biggest twists of all time. If you don't know, play this game. It's incredible. And I've been wanting another BioShock because it's been, God, I don't know when Infinite came out, but it's been a really long time. So another game in that vein from the original mind, sign me up. Next, FBC Firebreak. Now, this is a wild turn for Remedy, it seems like, but it's like they took control and turned it into a first-person, 3-player co-op. I don't know if it's an extraction shooter, just a mission-based shooter, co-op in general, with the gunplay and feel and look of Remedy and Control games. Yeah, that sounds pretty awesome. So I'd be very intrigued to try that game out. I think it's also just has a 2025 date that we don't know a whole lot else about it, but looks very cool. The first Berserker Kazan is one that I won't lie. More could come out about this, and I'll be like, oh, actually, I don't really like that. But they had a trailer during the Game Awards that looked badass. It was a cinematic trailer, so that always is like a different spin on it. But it's got this like anime, like cel-shaded art style to it. And I'm a little partial. Kazan is voiced by Ben Starr, who, as you know, I'm obsessed with. I love that dude. He's so cool. He sounds so great in every game he's in. We'll be having another game that he is voicing a character on later on this list that I'm even more excited about than this. But I want to see more, and this comes out in March. I think it's like March 20. It'll be on screen, March 20 something. Hopefully I will be checking that one out because it looks really cool. Now, this might be insane that this is only number 9 on this list, but again, it's not necessarily in a defined order, but like GTA 6 is going to be insane. They're already projecting to make like billions on it in the first year. They spent over $1 billion making it. It's been 11 years since, 12 years by the time it comes out. since GTA 5 came out on the 360. Like, that's insane to think about. That was a 360 and PS3 game. To be honest, they're saying 2025, holiday 2025, I think they've even said. If I was, I'm not really a betting man, but if I was, I would put money on this actually being pushed to 2026. I don't know how delayed it's already been. Like, maybe they wanted to wait till they knew for sure the date they said will be the date, because delays are always looked on in a certain way. Delay it as long as it needs to. Like, this game's going to destroy the world in a good way. Like, it will be the biggest thing in gaming this decade for sure. And I'm super excited about it because it looks cool. I love the Miami vibes. The two main, like, Bonnie and Clyde characters look awesome. It looks beautiful also. Like, this game's going to be guaranteed incredible. So very excited for that. All right, I'm now realizing this is exactly right in the middle of my list, but I think it's probably a good spot for it. When are we going to get a Switch 2 announcement? This is what I was talking about. Not really a game, but like, where is the Switch 2, man? Like, this could have come out. People were talking about it 3 years ago, like a Switch Pro and all this other stuff. Like, maybe it's actually just the sequel to the Switch. This has to be the year we hear about it and maybe even can buy it. Like, maybe in the spring they announce it for before Christmas this year. I don't know. The 2024 lineup for the Switch was a little light, but it felt like, well, that's because it's the end of the console. Like, it's going to be like that. I'm excited to see more about it. I don't know if I'll buy it right away. It depends on like what game they'll have with it. I would imagine they'll have a 3D Mario, maybe a Mario Kart 9. I don't know. If they put, oh my God, I'm just not realizing, if they put Wind Waker HD on the Switch 2, they might get me to buy this thing day one for a game that came out on the GameCube. Yeah, I'm so excited. The Switch is such a revolutionary console. I don't even play it handheld that much, but it just changed how they do this. And it feels like for the first time in a long time, they've kind of been like up and down. Like the Wii, massive success. Wii U, terrible. The DS, huge success. 3DS, I don't think did as well. Like, they always kind of like roller coaster themselves because they insist on doing something different. I don't think that's happening this time. And from what the leaks I've seen, it seems like it's just a better Switch, which is all any of us wanted. Like, give me a PS4 that's a Switch. Perfect. But I want to see more. I want to see the name. Are they just going to call it Switch 2? Is it going to be the Super Switch? I just want to see this thing and know a date for when I can start saving up to buy one of these things. Borderlands 4. Now, huge Borderlands fan over here, but they've made 3 great games and 1 dud of a game, in my opinion. I did not like Borderlands 3, so the fact that the most recent one was the bad one has me a little nervous, but the trailer they showed during the Game Awards, it looks cool. The villain looks cool. Twitch influencer dudes that were the bad guys in the last game, I could not get, but I just couldn't even give it a chance. And I had fun playing it with Josh over on his channel at Adjective Noun Gaming, but it just wasn't quite doing it for me the way that Borderlands 2 especially did. The original was so groundbreaking at the time. If they can like return to form, Borderlands 4 could be like my surprise. It shouldn't be a surprise, but it still would be a surprise, like my 2025 GOTY. Like, who knows? But I want to see more about this game a lot, including what the characters are. They showed who they are, but I don't know anything about them yet, like their abilities. I'm very pumped to see what Gearbox has in store for us with Borderlands 4. Now, as I said earlier, and everybody knows by now, I am a huge PlayStation Sony guy at this point in my life, but Gears of War is the franchise that I will be there for day one. I'll probably gonna have to buy it on my PC because I don't really want to buy it on my Xbox at this point. I don't think it would play well on the Series S that's just been collecting dust in my closet over there. But Gears of War E-Day, such a surprise twist. Like, they are in the middle of a new trilogy, like Gears 6. There's more story to tell, so I don't know if they just didn't know what to say about it. They don't know what to go with, like direction-wise, for that game. But a prequel is such a cool idea. And they did a prequel before with Gears of War Judgment Day, I believe it was called. Wasn't really well received. I loved it, where Bayard is the main character, and you're like playing through like a story that he had that takes place in between 2 and 3, or it might even be before 1. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know. But this is like Dom and Marcus, like young on E-Day, Emergence Day, when the shit hits the fan. So if it's, again, similar to Borderlands, if this is like a return to form for the franchise, because I liked Gears 4 and Gears 5 well enough. They got a little weird, in my opinion. I liked the original trilogy way more. E-Day looks incredible, and I will be all about that, especially playing like Horde mode with buddies and stuff. Like, shout out to Billy and TJ. I'm sure we'll get up to some shenanigans with that. I want to see more, including, I don't believe, if there is a release window, it'll be on screen. I don't think they gave us one. So this is probably not even 2025. So this is where the and beyond is really coming into play, but very, very pumped about that game. Split Fiction. This game I might end up playing 3 or 4 times this year because I want to play it with Josh. I want to play it with Austin. And most importantly, I want to play it with Tiff, because this is from Joseph Fares, the creator of It Takes Two and A Way Out, made for co-op. Incredible experiences that this guy has made throughout the years. And Split Fiction looks awesome. Like the idea of genre non-specific via the story, like they found a way to justify that. Just bouncing from fantasy to sci-fi, and like the puzzles and stuff that they do with 2 players on screen, even when playing online. This game looks awesome. And like the dragon level looks super cool. And Tiff and I just couldn't get enough of It Takes Two when we played on stream back in 2021, I believe, was when that came out. That was my number 2 game of the year that year. It was incredible. So fun to play. This one looks awesome, and I can't imagine it being anything less than a banger like the other ones were. Ghost of Yotei. We've been waiting for so long for the follow-up to Ghost of Tsushima, and we all thought it'd be Ghost of Tsushima 2, but it's actually Ghost of Yotei. So Ghost is kind of the franchise, it seems like, going forward. And this has a 2025 release date as well. Probably holiday, I would imagine, or like summer at the earliest this year. We'll get this one, but that's another one that we've been waiting on a release date for so long that maybe like GTA, they didn't give us one until they knew for sure they could stick to it. That's what I'm hoping. Ghost of Tsushima was incredible. The open world. I love Sucker Punch. Like I wish they were still making Sly games, but if they're going to pivot to something, the Ghost of Tsushima was phenomenal. And I need to finish the DLC still, actually. We don't know much beyond the trailer. Very pumped for this game. It's going to be a banger for sure. I'd say the top 5 are pretty solidly what my top 5 are, but we're doing a little bit of a step up here. I am not an early access guy. I like waiting for 1.0 releases of games, but 2024, Slay the Spire took over my life, and Slay the Spire 2 is going into early access still, as they said in the Game Awards trailer, in 2025. So I bet this is also later in the year if they didn't give us a date yet. Kind of like my rule of thumb, if they haven't said it, it's at least 6 months. It's kind of where I'm looking at. So this probably is another back half of the year. I will be there on day 1. I have become obsessed with Slay the Spire. I've kind of like forced myself to stop playing it. It was starting to take over like my gaming time in a way where I was like, we got to get to some other stuff, man. The second one sounds super cool. Only 2 of the characters are coming back. I would love to get on the ground floor and watch how it changes throughout early access. I stayed away from Hades 2 last year because of that reason. I was like, I'll wait for 1.0. But that's more of a story game than what this will be. Like, this is just a roguelike deck builder. Like, I could join it. I could pop on for a couple rounds and see what they have to offer and then come back later. But yeah, I am so unbelievably excited. And this hit at the perfect time for me. Slay the Spire, I think, came out in 2018 or something like that. I didn't really get super obsessed with it until 6 years later. And now I get obsessed with it. And the next year, there's a new game already. So like, perfect. I haven't had to wait. Cannot wait. It's going to be so good. Slay the Spire 2. I'll be there day 1, early access. This game came out of nowhere for me on my hype levels, which makes sense because it's from a debut studio. Clair Obscur Expedition 33. When I saw the trailer for this game, it just hit me in a way. Never since, I think, Deathloop in 2021 has like a brand new IP. I've just watched a trailer and just been like, I love what they're doing right now. It looks fantastic. It's got like almost looks like Persona, which I have not played, but like the cool art style and the turn-based combat looks very Persona-y, and it's like active turn-based combat. So you're not just pushing a menu button, but you like can parry, you can time up attacks. Some attacks you have to like actually aim at weak points with guns and stuff. And the story just sounds very unique. It's like the idea that there's like a paintress who every year paints a number, and everyone who is that age just vanishes. And Expedition 33 is an expedition of people trying to kill the paintress before she writes 33, I believe is the idea. The voice acting group in this blew me away. We've got the dude who plays Daredevil, Charlie Cox or something like that, I think is his name. We have Shadowheart. I'm blanking on the actress's name right now. And the big one, Andy Serkis is in this game, which is nuts. And for me, the big one, Ben Starr, also in this. And he narrated the original trailer, which is what got me partially hyped in the first place. And it turns out he's one of the baddies in this. At least he seems like a character that could be bad. We don't really know a whole lot. But this is spring 2025. So in my mind, that's April, May, June. Early June, they could get away saying spring. So this will be one of the earlier games I played this year. This might be the first one I take time off of work for as well. It's like I said, something about it just has me with this like very unique art style, almost like steampunk fantasy in a way. Like that's not normally my vibe, but it's just, again, something about this. Just every second of these trailers I've seen and the gameplay they've shown just looks unbelievably cool. And I cannot wait to see and hear more about this game and play it in the next less than 6 months, like 4 or 5 months probably. So yeah, Expedition 33, look up some trailers. It looks so good. And my number one most anticipated game of 2025, which I guess at this point, if I'm predicting my GOTY, this is it, I think. Pokemon Legends ZA. You guys know how I feel about Legends Arceus. That was my game of the year in 2022. I've been obsessed with Pokemon my whole life. Legends Arceus like changed how I think about Pokemon in a way that it like took me back when I was an 8-year-old boy again, dreaming of being a Pokemon trainer and like going out on my own journey. Legends Arceus captured that in a way that it like made me emotional thinking about it at the time of like what that game meant to me. And when they announced a sequel last year on Pokemon Day with a 2025 release date, we don't know anything about the trailer you're watching on screen right now. Didn't really show anything about it. But if it can keep that same formula of gameplay of, you know, go to an area, explore, stumble upon Pokemon, see who's there. They're gonna have mega evolutions again. Hopefully they have like another collection of non-Kalos, like the non-region where we are starters again. I loved how they did that in Arceus. Oh, I don't even know anything about it, but I'm so excited for this game. And it sounds weird making it my prediction for GOTY, but like if it's anything like Arceus, I just don't understand how it's not my number one game. Like I really don't. I don't see a world where they don't improve on what they did in Arceus and it's just a better game than like what my favorite Pokemon game of all time, and like at this point a top 3 to top 5 game ever for me. It's gonna be hard to live up to that, but it feels like they should just build on it and improve. I just want to see more about it. And my hope is Pokemon Day here at the end of February, we get a longer trailer that actually shows gameplay, shows what it looks like, and that gives us I'm gonna say first week, maybe second week of November. Like actually, I'm gonna call my shot right now. I think they show us gameplay, and this game comes out November 11th. 11/11/25 seems pretty good. It'll be here before Black Friday. They can get into the Christmas sales. That's my prediction for when this is coming out, and oh, it's gonna be so good. It's gonna be so good. I cannot wait for it. Well, that's my list. I know I'm forgetting some other games on here that I just, you know, there's too many games that are going to be excited. And if it's anything like 2024, if I would have made a list for that last year, I wouldn't have had Prince of Persia on it. I wouldn't have had Balatro on it. I wouldn't have had Helldivers 2 on it. I wouldn't have had a lot of games that were incredible last year that just are never on your radar. They kind of just happen and then they end up being incredible. So who knows? There's probably a game that I don't know exists or will be existing that is actually my number one game of the year. But let me know down in the comments, what are you most excited for in gaming in 2025? Do we get a Switch 2 announcement? Is GTA 6 going to be the greatest game ever made, like a lot of people think it might be? Are you pumped for Legends Arceus? Legends Arceus. You can play Legends Arceus right now. Are you excited for Legends ZA? Do you love Ben Starr like I do? Anything about 2025 gaming, I want to hear about in the comments. Let me know down there. Follow me on Twitch at SwirlyStreams. Maybe I'll be streaming some of these games this year. There are little weekly streams going on over there. And until next time, listen to my dad. And I'll see you in the next video.